Hey guys, my name's Jeremy Porter. I'm in town from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm going to play some songs for you guys. Thank you so much for being here on Sunday night. She left me in the lurch for a big spender. I'll do my best to get over her. After this bender, he's pulling out his money clip and greasing palms. My grayish hues got nothing on his weathered bronze. I could see that she was slipping through my sweaty grass. I could see that she was heading for greener grass. If I took the time to take it in, then I might understand what it takes to make your mark or make a man a man. Tell me again, help me remember what it is you see in your big spender. I know he's got the looks, his money and the tan. I guess that's what makes a man a man. Got an ocean-facing view from his house in Malibu. He's got an Upper East Side apartment too. How can I compete with my one-bedroom flat that overlooks a Burger King and laundromat? Tell me again, help me remember what it is you see in your big spender. I know he's got the looks, his money and the tan. I guess that's what makes a man a man. Reckon I'll get by on my own. I like to think I've changed and I've grown. Few and far between the successes I've seen. Time to sober up, I guess, and give it another go. It's time to count my blessings, not these heartaches I've known. So when you get caught between the moon and New York City, remember me and try to have a little pity. Tell me again, help me remember what it is you see in your big spender. I know he's got the looks, and his piano is grand. I guess that's what makes a man a man. I guess that's what makes a man a man. That's what makes a man. That's what makes a man. That's what makes a man a man. I look for answers in the mountains, and I found some peace out there. I left you in Seattle, but it could have been anywhere. Went down to San Francisco, and I looked out at the bay. I considered jumping off that bridge and floating away. I had second thoughts in Reno, so I called you on the phone. But you'd taken off with another and headed back on home. You had second thoughts in Bismarck, so you left him in the snow. You had a map in front of you, but you had nowhere to go. If I don't get you back, I'll die. But you can look me in the eye. I back every bad move that I made, like leaving when I knew I should have stayed. We crossed paths again in Memphis, some random city street. You said, ain't it funny where you go and the people who you meet? You didn't show much interest, so I didn't push too strong. You were off to get with someone and you couldn't talk for long. If I don't get you back, I'll die. But you can look me in the eye. I can buy back every bad move that I made, even when I knew I should have stayed. Second thought, I best leave you alone. I'm accident and bad decision prone. If I could buy back every bad thing that I said, but I'm left here all alone instead. You ended up in Macon with a lawyer and a cat. You still send me a Christmas card, and hey, I appreciate that. I try to be objective, we all have our past to choose. I left you in Seattle with everything to lose. Thanks, guys. You're a respectful bunch. All right. All right, so yeah, I'm from Detroit, and I grew up in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. And this is a song about a cat that we had when I lived up there. And this cat, he was pretty cool. He was a light-haired Siamese, and he got in a fight with a fox, and he won. And he used to bring my mom home a little dead animal every day for a present. And then my mom put a bell on his collar to try and give the little animals a chance against him, and that worked for about a day. And then the killing spree continued, so. Anyhow, this song here is called Josh. Had a cat when I was a kid. His name was Josh, and he did what he did. He loved to chase them mice, give them hell. He was skinny and white, just like me. Was a little fried, all thanks to me. He had balls and swagger and a collar with a bell. Well, he never even heard him coming, and it's probably just as well. And in the tall grass you could hear the death knell. Well, Joshy had some friends, and most of them were cats. One was Good Time Charlie, one was Max. Well, you know he outlived them all because he lived by the seat of his pants, and he never even gave that dog a second glance. Well, he never heard him coming, but Josh was on the way. He'd bring home something new and dead most every day. Well, he never had the time for dice or drink or whores. Lay that dead thing down right on my mama's floor. But one day Josh got chased around a cedar tree by a big old mean red fox, and orange and white was all you could see. But he lived to tell about it, fight another day. But he never really walked or acted quite the same way. Then one day Josh just didn't come home. Somewhere there's a field where he still roams. He's just waiting for my ma to let him in. All right, so normally I'm in a rowdy punk rock trio called the Tucos, and we played Denver a couple times over at the Three Kings, which I understand is no longer with us. But yeah, I got a record coming out with those guys next year, and this is one of the songs that's going to be on that. The song here is called "What's All the Fuss About?" Got a rubber coat to keep away the rain. You got a pair of earplugs for when you hear my name. But it ain't enough to keep the noises out. It ain't enough to quell that aching doubt. It ain't enough to justify whatever the fuss is about. Now you're falling apart 'cause you put your mule behind the cart. Now you're falling apart. You told your mama you're fine, but she knows you aren't. 'Cause she's seen it before at least 100 times. She's heard all the stories and the warning signs. But nothing really matters when whatever the fuss is about. What the fuss is about? Well, it's a little premature for goodbye. Fuss is about, I think I got another try. Well, it ain't enough to keep the noises out. It ain't enough to quell that aching doubt. You're sailing away, and you talked yourself into going today. Well, no one's gonna blame you for tapping out. We'll see you again, and that's no doubt. But leaving ain't the answer to whatever the fuss is about. The fuss is about, well, it's a little premature for goodbyes. What the fuss is about, I think I got another try. Well, no one's gonna blame you for tapping out. We'll see you again, and that's no doubt. Thanks, guys. So I got a new record out, and it's called Dynamite Alley, and it's named after an episode of the TV show Chips. And it's season 3, and I always thought it was the Dune Buggy episode, but I found out recently that it wasn't, but I'm still going with that it's the Dune Buggy episode. So anyhow, this is a song about a friend of mine, and she lives in Indianapolis, and she has a daughter. And she's a bit of a mess, but she loves her daughter. And this song's for her daughter. This song here is called Lucy. Lucy, your mama means well, even though she gets off track. She's got a gleam in her eye when she says your name. That's a fact. She's got 100 different reasons why she can't be there on time. Even from a distance, she'll make sure you're fine. Lucy, your mama's as stubborn as a blood on cotton stain. Well, she's a master of deception. She's in the greatest pain. Lucy, your mama's as tough as a brick wall in the rain. You might get the sense that there's something wrong, but you won't hear her complain. Lucy, don't get lost in your mama's tears. The day somebody takes your heart away. She's grateful for the love, and she's thankful for the years. She knows that you can't forever stay. Well, there has to be a reason, but she never told me why. She went and named you Lucy in the sky. Now everybody smiles as you drift on past the flowers that grow so incredibly high. That grow so incredibly high. Grow so incredibly high. Thanks, guys. So yeah, I was telling you, I got a rock and roll band back home, and a couple bass players ago, we had this guy in our band. His name was Patty, and he was a grumpy bastard. And I wrote a song about him, and he had to play on it, which made him even more grumpy, because it's about all the stuff he doesn't like. And this song here is called "Patty's Not Impressed." Patty doesn't like chicken on a bone, Percocet or the Ramones. Patty doesn't understand why we're always playing last. Well, Patty doesn't understand. Well, Patty's got this thing for Iowa, cornbread girls with makeup on, roller derby queens with dirty knees. He knows what he likes when he sees the other squad was the best. Patty's not impressed. Patty doesn't always want to know when the decision's begun to the Growler show. It's fun and games until it's time to go. Patty's got his habits and his dirty shoes. We like to cheer him up when he gets the blues. Patty didn't like the opening band, even though they did their best. Well, even though they did their best, Patty's not impressed. Patty's not impressed. Thanks. All right, Steve requested a Big Star song. And I don't know, I can't do that one because I don't know it, but I'll do a different one. And this was actually my wedding song. Won't you let me walk you home from school? Won't you let me meet you at the pool? Maybe Friday night I can get tickets for the dance. I could take you. Won't you tell your dad to get off my back? And tell him what we said about painted black. Rock and roll is here to stay. Come inside now, it's okay. I won't make you. Won't you tell me what you're thinking of? Would you be an outlaw for my love? If it's over, let me know. It is, then I can go. I won't make you. Thanks. I took the long way home on a frozen night. I kicked beside some snow beneath an old street light. I saw the names of lovers and their favorite bands, rabbit tracks, initials, children's hands. Watched the freighters come round at the cove. Had a plan growing old. Grew apart as young people do. When the future doesn't have room for two. Never wrote our name in wet cement. We never wrote our name in wet cement. Up and they're tearing down. What's left of that lonely old part of town? There's not much left from when we were around. Now they're boarding them up and they're tearing down. I saw the names of lovers and their favorite bands, rabbit tracks, initials, children's hands, preserved in time, that intent. Well, our chance, it came and it went. We never wrote our names in wet cement. We never wrote our names in wet cement. We never wrote our names in wet cement. We Thanks. I totally made up that middle part. Anyhow, this is another song off the new record, and this one's called I Didn't Want to Break Your Heart. And it has this really hard chord in it, and I get it right about half the time. So let's see what happens tonight. Well, I can see where this is going. Maybe I should walk away. The signs are floating westward. Today is the day. I'll meet you for a coffee round about 6 o'clock. We'll ease into it gently, but baby, we gotta have that talk. I didn't want to break your heart, but that's what I'm gonna do. Something new. Oh, well, you'll see when this is over all the time you'll have. That car we bought together, well, you can keep my half. And you can sell off all my records and give your brother my guitars. I'm also ditching those wasted dreams of being a star. I didn't want to break your heart, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna break it in two. I'm gonna break it in two. It's time for something new. I'm gonna break it in two. And with a little bit of time and a little bit of luck, we're gonna see it pays to never give up. Gonna find somebody who's a better fit. He's gonna love my records and give you a kid. I didn't want to break your heart, but that's exactly what I did. Break it in two. It's time for something new. I'm gonna break it in two. All right. I'll do a couple more, I guess. This next tune's off the record, and it's a mariachi murder ballad. And my friend Harry from Arizona, he played accordion on it, and my wife played castanets on it. It's called My Angelito Baby and Me. When I left you this morning, you had a yellow ribbon in your hair, and you were off to see your sister in San Pedro and visit your mother while you're there. Your lips and your words, they spoke a message as I walk you to the back at your door. Me vio bien mi esposo, and en esta tarde mi amor. I wondered where this lovely day might take you. I wondered who else you had to see, because your lips and your words, they spoke a message, but it was not an easy one to believe. So I wrapped up our Angelito baby. I followed you to see where you would go. Me vio bien mi esposo, en esta tarde mi amor. Donde está mi pieza? My love, where did you go? Donde está mi pieza? ¿Qué estás pensando? Roads that wandered to the mountains, but you were not heading to the sea. My bonita, I wanted to believe you. Traiciones, sí. I found you in the arms of your lover. Como pueste esto hacia mí. Our angelito baby, he was sleeping, and I was grateful that he did not have to see. They found your bloody bodies the next morning, a crime of passion they could clearly see. So now we live the lives of outlaws, my angelito baby and me. So now we live the lives of outlaws, my angelito baby and me. Donde está mi pieza? My love, where did you go? Donde está mi pieza? ¿Qué estás pensando? Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, and I will wrap it up now. And my name's Jeremy. I'm in town from Detroit, Michigan, and I've got my new record and old records and T-shirts and koozies and shot glasses and books and stuff. Come on over and say hi afterwards. We're going to do a little talk session after this, and then we're going to have some drinks. And it's great to be back in Denver. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on Sunday night. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Appreciate it. I'll be your huckleberry, you can be my clementine. That's a funny way to put it. Why don't you just come inside? If I look into the future, if I show you what I see, if I show up at the last minute, will there be anything left for me? Everybody said you're hard to get to. Everybody said you're looking fine. We can take that up over breakfast. Come with me, my little Clementine. Everybody said you're acting dumb. Everybody said you're just too young. We can sail across the ocean, find ourselves lost at sea. If you could be my Clementine, I'll be your huckleberry. If you look at his angry daddy, you can ask him what you should do. You can even ask your boyfriend, he can't come along with you. You could take the high road sometimes, nothing there to talk about. I got nothing but all the time now. Get your pretty little answers out, to get your pretty little answers out. It's a fool who looks for logic in the chambers of the human heart. But I got you all figured out now in my mind, and that's a start. All I need is your little face to be in front of me. If you could be my Clementine, if you could be my Clementine, I'll be your be your, I'll be your huckleberry. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Welcome.
Hello, we on live? All right, we're on Podbean Live right now.
I still need that check presenter. I'm so serious.
Well, we'll get you one.
Thank you.
Whatever you want, if I knew what the hell you were talking about. But anyways, this is Laxin at the Lair, where we talk about the good things going on in Denver. And this is episode 4, and are brought to you by Dammy's Animal Rescue, Dark Angel Tattoos, and Electric Grenade Photography. And anybody else that wants to send us a check, please do that. You can call in at 720-663-9286 at any time you want, and the lovely Emma will answer the phone.
Call. I dare you.
Nobody's called yet. I am Chuck Gibson, and my co-host,
Lovely Emma.
Lovely Emma.
I don't know. We need to come up with something.
And we have our special guest that just played earlier,
Jeremy from Detroit, Jeremy Porter.
Jeremy Porter
Yay.
on tour. All right, so
From the 313.
you just came back.
Fuck the Lions.
You were
Sorry,
in Salt Lake. How was your Salt Lake show?
I was in Salt Lake City. The show was okay.
Okay.
PJ, may I please have a check presenter?
It was a cool place. They were playing the
Like a
Misfits
black
and the
book.
Dead Kennedys before I went on. So, and they had a good pulled pork sandwich,
Oh, there you go. Food's always important.
and they were nice. I'm being super diplomatic.
Okay. What was Utah?
Yeah.
It's
a beautiful
strange
city,
place. It's beautiful, but it's
Yep.
a strange place.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
I played there on a Sunday once. It was like literally
The Lord's Day.
the place was
It's important.
deserted. We played Bert's Tiki Lounge. It was the only block in all of Salt Lake that was still open. There was like 3 bars.
I think that place is closed now, I think.
I think so too.
I'm not sure. Probably because you played there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Scared them all off.
So,
Pretty typical.
all right, let's ask some basic questions. How long have you been playing music, and what brought you into it?
Man, I started very young. I was in. I grew up in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan, up on the shores of Lake Superior in a little town called Marquette, and we were doing like punk and garage covers when we were 16, 17 years old. We had a little punk rock band called the Regulars, and we would do like open mic nights at the local bar. And
Dude, I love punk.
it was the only way you could get in without getting carded. So I would, I would, you know, I was doing that at a fairly young age, and moved downstate to the Detroit area in the late '80s, and yeah, it's been like
So you've been at it a long time.
yeah.
How old were you when you were with the Regulars?
How old was I? I was in high school, so that
nice.
would have been like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah. So when did you start playing music?
Probably about 12, 13. I grew up in a musical household, so there was always, a piano and guitars, and I got a guitar at an early age and didn't really take to it. And then when I was in junior high school, a buddy of mine and I egged the vice principal's house.
Classic.
And I was grounded for the entire summer
Aw.
with an acoustic guitar and an Iron Maiden songbook. So I haven't put the guitar down since, but
Word.
I still can't play like Iron Maiden, but I still
That's
play the
so
guitar.
awesome.
Do you
I
play
love
any other instruments other than that?
I play piano very poorly.
Okay.
I can play a harmonica if I have to. That's mostly about it.
That's how I made my
Tony
living.
is efficient.
Yeah. Oh,
At
yeah?
the very least.
Yeah,
That's your jam?
I literally 30 years of my life. But now I play ukulele, but I do play piano too.
I have a mandolin I play from time to time, but I have friends who do all that stuff way better than I do. So if I need it, I tend to call someone before I do it myself.
Yeah, I looked you up a little bit. It sounds like you've got some pretty great connections and some really good friends to help you out on your record and just sound in general.
Yeah, there's a lot of people played on the record. I've got friends from Lansing in this band called the Wild Honey Collective, who are label mates of mine on GTG Records out of Lansing, Michigan, and they're sort of a cosmic Americana type band, and along the line of the the Graham Parsons era Birds and the Burrito Brothers and all that stuff. And
and just fantastic band. And we've done some touring together. I've sat in with them, and they backed me up, and we're great friends. And they're all over the record. I got Jay Gonzalez from Drive By Truckers plays piano all over the record.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a bunch of other. My friend Doug McKeon from Cleveland, who was in the GC5, and the boys from the County Hell, and the stuntman. He's all over it. So yeah, a lot of really great people playing on it.
That's cool.
I read.
It's for sale here, right?
Yeah.
You got it here.
What's that?
You got it here in your merch table?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got the record's called Dynamite Alley. It came out on September 20th. Yeah, on vinyl, CD, and all digital
A
platforms.
multifaceted wonder. I like it. We need all of it.
I'm one of those like anti-streaming guys, you know.
Ah.
Like I hate that stuff. But my mom, she only listens to music on Amazon,
Yep.
and she's my biggest fan. So I
Yeah.
had to put it on streaming, or she wouldn't have been able to hear it.
Spotify has blatantly ripped the hell off of me. But I'm living through it.
Spotify, you owe us money,
Someday.
and we're coming to collect one day
I actually
when we have not the finances. Cause
All right.
obviously we
Speaking of which,
They are the devil.
Yeah, do you want to mention our
these are
sponsors
some
again?
of my favorite questions. What was your first paid gig, and how much did you get paid? You got to think way back.
Boy, that's a tough one.
I mean, when you were handed money the first time, and like, oh, what's this?
I haven't had
How
a
do you
whole lot of
forget
I haven't
that
had a whole
moment,
lot of paid
honestly?
gigs in my life.
Well, you get paid tonight.
I don't know. It was probably like when we were doing that the regulars in high school, we got this old strip club way out in the woods opened up a teen club.
16
And
years old in a strip club.
It used to be called Snuffies, but this eccentric
Snuffies is a great name.
But then this eccentric woman bought it, and she changed the name to the Rainbow Connection, and she had teen night, and every Friday and Saturday she would have bands, and there were only 3 or 4 bands in town, so we would play there about every other week, and we would get like a percentage of the cover, so we would probably make, I don't know, 20, 30, $50 maybe, probably one of those, I would imagine.
I always
Yeah, but I
mine
can't
was
remember
$10. $10. I'll never forget the guy. He's like, "Hey, you're now a professional musician, so just remember that." And I also got a beer with lipstick all around it. I always talk about it. And I was
They
like,
call
"Can
that the hot shot.
can I get another glass?" He's like, "No." It's like apparently we sucked. But by the way, it's punk rock, the early stages. But so let's see. So first paid gig.
Look into your mic first.
How long he's been doing it? We got that covered. Oh, what's the craziest gig you ever played? Where you just like something went out of control or
Boy, there's
whacked?
been a lot of those. One, we were doing for a little while. We were getting these gigs at like these Harley dealerships,
That's sick.
and there was this Sunday morning gig in the suburbs of Detroit, and it was one of these like
Sunday
rides.
service at Harley Davidson.
Yeah, it was like at a dealership, and they did this ride, right, where like all these Harley guys would ride for like a cancer charity or something. And we were supposed to play until the bikers came in. All right, they're going to be here around 12:30, so just keep playing. So we're like in the middle of our song, and then this, it must have been 500 Harleys. And you couldn't even hear the music, you know. So we just kind of hung on the same chord for about 40
You gotta
minutes
hope
while
and
these
pray in
bikes
those
came
moments, you know, just hang
Oh my
on.
God.
Yeah. But there's been just crazy alcohol fueled gigs, like terrible gigs that like no rock band ever had any business being at, and some
know 'em all.
little like brew pub in some tiny little town somewhere, and just not even set up for music at all. There's all kinds of just endless stories like that, you know.
It's like, do we have monitors? Do we have a PA? Do we have a microphone? Do we
Yeah,
have anything?
I mean,
I've actually I used to run a mic through my amp because of the 2 sides, so I could
Yeah.
sing and then play out of the other side. And
that's how we used to roll. Yeah, for sure.
whatever you got to do.
The
But
good old days, I remember them fondly.
I played this show in Denver actually, and it was for Westward Showcase, which is like this big, huge thing. And there was like 300 people in a bar this size. Like you couldn't go to the bathroom or anything. All of a sudden, we're on stage, the bar clears out, and the Hell's Angels showed up in full regalia. Which everybody freaked out, but I was like,
Yell.
"Eh, well, at least now I can go to the bathroom.
It's regalia.
I watched 300 people run out of doors. They're all going to get killed. It was crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean,
So,
So you have had amazing folks on your album. I
Yeah.
read that it took you about 1.5 years to do.
it did. Yeah. You've clearly done your research, Emma.
that's what she's all about.
Very thorough.
Yeah, so I started it in March of last year, and yeah, there were some left turns, and I've got a rock and roll band called Jeremy Porter and the Tucos, and we were working on a record at the same time, and some life events happened with a bunch of people who were involved in both projects, and things kind of went sideways a little bit, and the projects were kind of active and inactive at different times. And then early this year, it was, we figured out, well, the Tucos aren't going to be able to go on the road this year. So I was like, I better get
Jeremy
this.
Porter can.
Yeah,
then.
I better get this record done so that I can tour it this fall.
Yeah.
Because, I'm no spring chicken, I'm going to be honest with you, and I got to get out on the road while I still
I'd be
can.
surprised, honestly.
Definitely.
So I had to bust ass and get it done and get it out. So that was my focus, over the summer, and doing the video and getting the vinyl pressed and all this stuff. And it was just a huge challenge. But
What kept you motivated through all of that?
what's that?
What kept you motivated through all of that?
Honestly, I just kind of have a perpetual feeling like I'm on the clock. Like I just don't have any time to waste,
I know that
I
feeling.
don't. In the past, I've been in bands that kind of got stagnant for a
Do you
period
know?
of time, and I've looked back and thought, that was like a wasted 4 or 5 years, and it just dawned on me, like I don't ever want to have that again happen, because I mean, like I said, I'm no spring chicken. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to do these crazy drives and
I
play
have-
these dumps and make no money. And
I have to ask, how's life on the road by yourself? You're by
I was gonna
yourself?
ask that too, actually. Yeah.
and well,
like, what's the setup? What are you looking at right now? What are you doing?
so it's in some ways it's awesome, and in some ways it's brutal, right? So like when you're with the boys, like it's the camaraderie,
Of course, yeah.
and you're like a gang, and you're like going to new
Smelling
places,
so
and
good.
you're looking at girls, and you're getting in trouble, and 2 out of 3 of you are partying every night, and it's it's
Don't
just like,
go to jail.
yeah, and it's just
Need all of
it's like you're going into battle together, and there's obviously it's not all great. I mean, it's obviously it sucks sometimes too, but it's the camaraderie there is really great, and especially somebody like me who plays so much. Like I don't have much of a social life outside of music, so a big part of my social life is in the van with my
Yeah.
bandmates, right? Like those guys,
yeah.
those are my guys. That's my social life.
You spend
And-
so much time together too, and
Right.
stuff like that. That makes sense. Yeah.
So I desperately miss that when I'm out by myself.
I can see that, definitely.
But at the same time, like when I'm by myself, like even like the band, it's my band, right? So I don't have to make sure like that the boys are happy, the boys are fed,
Right.
that the boys are comfortable.
They're show
You know
up.
what I mean? That the boys are getting paid.
They're not
It's much easier to travel in a small
Yeah, you don't have to
SUV
shower
than a
or
van.
feed 'em or anything like
right.
that. That's
It's
nice.
I don't have to listen to them snore. It's like there's things that are really great about being by yourself. I have I have 35 years of catalog I can pull from rather than 10 years, which is nice too. But I mean, given a choice, I would go out with the band every time. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that I can do this, and this is way better than staying home watching TV.
I toured with this band, Lion Bitch. We were punk rock. Lion Bitch is restraining orders. We toured like off and on for 10 years.
It's a dope name.
But we had this guy, Mike, in the band that snored so fucking loud. We would like, is he sleeping in the van or is he sleeping in a hotel room? Because he's sleeping in a hotel room, we're all sleeping in the van. Like literally the whole band would sleep in the van. He would have the hotel room.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
You take the bed, we'll take everything.
yeah, when you're with and then like my last band I was with, we toured for 4 years. 4 years I tried to make a living doing it. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, it's
And you miss it because we're still good friends. I mean,
well, that says something.
marriage does things.
I mean, I did the
people.
whole like sleeping on floors, waking up next to kitty litter and ferret cages. I did all that for years. Those days are long behind me.
Never
I
And-
slept in
forget, yeah.
closets.
Like, yeah,
Closets
we'll-
were my favorite.
Yeah, we'll
I'd
get.
lock myself in a closet. Nobody knew where I was at. I'd be at a party and just like, I'm not going out.
I mean, we'll take a loss and get 2 rooms if we have to at this point. Just,
Yeah.
it's sleep is more valuable than
Especially when
than
Mike's
14
in the
bucks.
band. When Mike's in the band, you get another room. You have no problem paying
You
for
barricade
it.
him in the soundproof.
It's like, dude, you have the van. Take the van. We'd
No,
always
just
do that.
or find the local psych ward. The padded rooms are very soundproof as well, and you just
We made him get the nose thing.
Nothing helps or everything
fucking worked. He's like, I don't understand why you guys are. I'm like, so we recorded him.
Yeah.
And then like literally played it like through a PA system, and it was like everybody's like, no, that's normal. It's not turned up. Like,
There's no reverb on that, man.
Well, you,
it's
babe.
like you're dying in front of us.
Did he have sleep apnea or something? Was he choking
Probably.
all
I
around?
don't know. He's still really good friend.
They stop
He's
breathing,
gonna kill me
they
if he
come
hears
back,
this.
and you're like, Jesus Christ.
I think the number one thing about touring though is you really appreciate what a great commodity sleep is.
Oh yeah.
Truly.
Like there's not like it's almost like the most important thing.
Even if it's just
It's like
4 hours.
Because
when-
then you become a little neurotic after a few days.
When
and then
can I sleep?
It
Oh,
becomes
yeah,
everybody
it's like-
else's problem, and then you have to perform, and it's just
Yeah, and well, after a couple days, it's just like a machine, right? It's
Yeah.
like you don't even,
It's-
you just get up and go, and it's just drive, play, sleep, and it's just, it's very sort of mechanical. At least for me, it's very
Oh, yes.
mechanical, and
But once you get it going,
you
it's-
know, it's
And
and then
it's good to have a habitual system
Yeah.
of the way that you do it too. Advocating for yourself in those moments is very.
yeah.
in the early days is like, okay, it's sleeping on the floor. Oh shit, and then in the end of the tour, you're like, oh, it's got carpet. Oh my god, this is awesome. It's actually kind of a clean house. I'm not seeing roaches. Like,
A hotel, you say?
six guys in a Motel 6 with two double beds and a rollaway.
sneaking in.
pretty sure I
No,
saw that
there's
on
just
Pornhub
me.
one time.
Just me. I don't want to get charged. Like,
All right, guys, everybody, duck down. I'm gonna go get a room.
pull the
Bring
van
everybody
around
else
back.
in from the van and the continental breakfast.
Are you sure it's just you? There's nobody else in that van? No.
All right. Well, speaking of like touring, let's talk about your tour. What's coming up next? Where are you going? What's that?
Oh well, I have tomorrow off. I had a show last night booked in. Is it Palisade or Palisade?
Palisade, yeah.
So I had a show today booked in Palisade, and
That's right on the way. Damn
well,
it.
it was, but they canceled it out from under me with no notice. And then you people were nice enough to have me tonight, and I'm eternally
Demi,
grateful for that.
Demi is the one that booked
Demi
you.
is awesome, and
The
I'm,
schedule
godlike.
extraordinaire, little
So I'm-
angel
She's
baby.
the goddess of the lair.
Where
I
did
mean, this
that-
is so much better than a night off. I'm so grateful. And I was supposed to play in Boulder tomorrow, and 2 days after my Palisade show got canceled, they canceled my Boulder show.
Oh, what the
Because, we don't do shows on Monday. We thought it was a Tuesday. Can you play on Tuesday? And I'm like, no, I'm in Laramie on Tuesday. So they canceled that. So tomorrow, I am looking for any stage that would be willing to have me in anywhere between Pueblo and Laramie, if anybody knows of it.
Well,
Doesn't
and-
discriminate.
Wait, now wait a minute. Well, we got comedy going on tomorrow.
Anybody
Hey,
will take them down there. I'm pretty sure. All right.
I'll look into it. I know.
But I'm doing Laramie on Tuesday, and I guess there's some open mic nights and stuff going on tomorrow. I may crash one of those.
Yeah, Monday though. I don't know on the.
My niece lives in Boulder, so I'll probably go up and have lunch or dinner with her. And
I think you find an open mic in Boulder or something,
Oh,
or you play the
easy.
16th
Yeah,
Street
especially
Mall.
on
Yes,
well-
I've done.
I want to see the Mork and Mindy house.
That's
I've
not
never
Or
fair.
seen
no, it's
Mork
the
and
Pearl
Mindy house.
Street Mall. I'm sorry. Yeah, I played Pearl
I was going to
Street.
say 6th Street Mall is not the ideal location.
Well, I was playing with this guy, and he said, "Hey, man, if you want to jam with me, we got a bus. We got to go up to Boulder. We play Pearl Street. And so I'm sitting there busking on Pearl Street with this guy for 8 hours. We made like $22.
Sweet.
Worth it.
Yes, worth it.
It's like 46 cents an hour.
Totally. But, you know, it was a good experience. And it really...
Fix that wage gap, honestly.
I understand what he was trying to say. This is how I've always made my living. And I'm like, this is fine. You take the money. I got a credit card. I'm going to Chicago Pizza, and let's pig out, and then we'll figure out how to get home on the bus. But it was fun. I mean,
I talked to them, by the way. I believe they're either closed or don't do music on Mondays. So yeah. But
Selective music hours in this town, apparently, in this state. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Remember, Palisade only does music on what, Tuesdays?
Well, they had this Sunday thing, and it was a great gig, but they're like, the promoter just called me like 2 weeks ago. He's like, owner said no more Sunday music. And I was
that shit sucks.
And I was
it's the Lord's Day. What
does
do
he
you
understand? Like, this, I'm not like a local guy. Like, I booked like 3 shows around this.
And you have to plan it and all of that stuff. It's
I'm like,
timing. That's
and it was a perfect place
funky.
from like Salt Lake
it was
to here.
between Salt Lake and Boulder.
It's
and then,
fucking perfect.
Yeah, Colorado's got it in for me this time, but
not us.
You guys have been
It's a
amazing.
tough
So
town, honey.
We're on Podbean Live. You didn't know that? Oh, hey, speaking of which, the phone number is
Oh, yeah. If anybody wants to give me a ring on my little call-in line.
720-663-9286. Nobody's ever called, but somebody might.
We might have a voicemail or something.
We don't barely. We got a burner phone, so just so we had a number.
It's for emergencies is what the kids call it. It's not even on.
Well, it helps if you turn it on.
How?
So fresh. But hey, so how can people get a hold of you? I mean, where you got you?
I'm not hard to find. I've got I'm everywhere. Just Jeremy Porter Music. My website's jeremyportermusic.com. And
Do you have an Instagram or anything?
Yeah,
Jeremy Porter? Cool.
I have 2 Instagrams. I have a music account, and then I have my personal account, which is called One to Give, and that's where I do the rock and roll restrooms, which maybe we should talk about for a minute. So
sure, let's please talk about it.
So I have a coffee table book called Rock and Roll Restrooms, photographic memoir, Volume 1, a unique look at the seedy underbelly of small-time rock and roll, and it's a snapshot
of every bathroom
in every bar that I played in the last 15 years.
Oh my God!
But
if you're really nice, we might let you.
Hey, Mark, clean the bathroom.
So the book is a prototype. It's only like 30 pages.
It's a brilliant idea.
And but I'm looking for a publisher because I do believe it has legs. I believe there's a market for it.
Yeah.
I believe there is too.
Oh, I would agree
I have
with that,
those
yeah.
over at the merch table. I have soft cover and hard cover, and
Anybody that's ever been on a
sweet.
tour would love that.
Yeah.
Because the bathrooms, like, I was just thinking, like, what are some of the worst bathrooms you've ever walked in?
Oh my God, yeah, it's amazing.
The
Yeah.
Double Down in Vegas.
Yep.
Our roadie was underneath the urinal getting pissed on. And I'm like, dude, I drag him out and I'm like, get up. He's like, I paid my puke insurance. And he goes to the bar.
Wait, was this in Chicago?
No, Vegas.
Oh, sorry.
The Double Down in Vegas.
Makes sense.
And literally, they served him a beer and a shot. No, he paid his puke insurance. I'm like, he's covered in pee.
This place is still around, right? I think I heard about this the other day,
It's a famous punk
actually.
rock. It's punk rock. And then there was...
There's a couple places that
Scary
do puke
Mary in
insurance,
Iowa.
and I need to get there.
So I'll put the bathroom on Instagram before every show, and it's kind of like my last,
awesome.
it's a hashtag rock and roll restrooms, and it's my last kind of like I'm at the venue, get here now kind of thing. And it's funny because if I play a nice place, like people will be like, dude, that's too nice. What do you like?
bathroom's
that
too
bathroom's
nice.
too nice. What are you doing there? Like that doesn't look like one of your joints, you know.
We try to keep
It's like,
ours
hey,
nice.
I'm at like a nice brew pub tonight or something, you know. It's all, clean and
In the answer to the question, which I kind of took over, is what's the worst bathroom you've been in on tour? Come on, it's got to be somewhere you're like, oh my God.
for me, it was either the Spitfire in Cleveland or the Buzz Bin in Canton, Ohio, or the new Buzz Bin in Akron, Ohio. The
least
old
the
Buzz
Buzz
Bin
Bin's
and the new
consistent.
Buzz Bins both had horrific bathrooms. But the
I have relatives from Akron.
when in Cleveland,
So it checks.
in Cleveland, there was the sink was full of vomit at sound check.
Oh God!
Sound check. Like even before the show,
on.
the bathroom was uninhabitable.
That's my worst peeve. Not the sink; it's the urinal. Please don't puke in the urinal.
We have that
some poor
sign,
pastor's got to clean that
and then-
up. Puking in the toilet or the sink's even all right, or the trash can.
It's not easy, man. People think it's easy, but it's not easy.
I have
A
a
hard
technique.
aim.
I have a technique. It's like, Mark, you clean that urinal. No, just kidding.
I just missed the ice troughs. That was one of my favorite puking experiences. Very easy.
Yes. So we've come to the part of the show
No.
where we talk about the good things going on in Denver. Emma, did you find anything?
What are some of the good things?
Oh God, there's a multitude of lovely.
Trust me. She's
Trust
the
you.
researcher.
Yeah, trust.
There's never anything.
We're very thorough. Well, okay.
It's always about somewhere else.
You don't need to tell them that right off the bat.
Sorry.
I mean, like as an outsider, it seems like a really cool city. Like
Honestly, Denver's one of the best towns I've ever lived in. It's one of the. Was born and raised here. It's one of the only places I'll be in paradise and I'll want to come back. It's great. It's a lovely
also
town.
like-
It's a lovely place. We've got some chicanery, but which town doesn't?
Right.
So according to
Chicanery?
yes, you know what that means?
No, I do
Yeah,
not.
we'll talk
I
about it
did
later.
not pass 10th grade.
Got a lot of work to do. All right. You know what? We're gonna
Can't
do
wait.
something a little different today.
All right, let's hear
Tony,
it.
get those fucking readers on, dog.
Do I need readers for what?
Yeah. Because you're gonna pick a headline.
Oh, you're going to have me pick a headline? Oh, this is going to be awesome.
Oh,
I'm
because
all in.
actually, let's share. A multitude, just a couple of boys picking a headline.
I cannot read that.
22
No, everybody
Tennessee
get their
State.
readers out. I'm fresh out of mine.
Is this about Denver? First time Dad uses TikTok. All right, you got to do this one. First time.
Again, this is Denver 7.
Readers.com. I'm looking for a sponsorship.
This is Denver 7 News, but it's all local.
First time Dad uses TikTok to offer parenting advice for new fathers.
Oh, I like that one.
Here, give it to her so she can reach back. So, TikTok for advice.
I can't wait for it to get banned.
That's just what you want to do. You're like, hey, kid, like go on TikTok, get some fatherly advice.
So here's a really good one. Dog travels 4 miles to get help for owner after car crash.
Oh, that's awesome.
4 miles. Like,
And they say lassie culture's dead.
I'm going to be honest, not sure I would do that.
Well, here's the reason why I don't have cats. Because the cat is not going to fucking come rescue you. 4
It'll
miles
eat you
away.
before you're cold, actually. That's the best part about
I've
it.
actually, I don't want to talk about it.
It's true.
I used to work maintenance, and it's not
No?
a good thing.
You did
Well, the cat survived a little
Well, the
longer
cat was
than
eaten
the person did.
good. Wait, did the cat still die after it ate the human?
No, the cats were still alive.
Yeah, because they're doing
But
fine.
I called it. It smells like rotten sewage, and we've had the plumber out and everything. We don't know what it is, and I'm like, I know what it is.
Oh, good Lord.
It's a dead body.
This is going
God.
south.
All right, where are we going? So, is there
So,
any,
any more cat stories that anybody wants to share? No? All right.
one more, and then we'll.
I did a
finish
song
up.
about a cat tonight.
I did.
know.
I really appreciated that.
I-
The
I-
ending was, honestly a little upsetting. But, I
would-
mean, not upsetting. It was poetic as hell, waiting for mom to open the door. That was very nice.
Yeah. It's one day Josh just didn't come home. And somewhere there's a field where he still roams. He's just waiting for my mom to let him in. Because cats will sit out by the back door, and when are you going to let me in and feed me?
They'll still figure out how.
Like
to
I haven't been eating, mice all day. or
Wasting
whatever,
away really is what they do.
It was so funny because I heard mice, and I was like, damn it, I was in mice hell today.
Don't-
I was cleaning out my shed.
Do tell.
It's like my ex was a hoarder, and I went in the shed. I hadn't been in 3 years, and there literally was rampant mice.
Oh my God.
What are they eating? It's got to be I
Honestly, let's break
I
that
was
down
like
for a
getting
minute,
ready.
Tony. What's going on?
I was getting ready to
there?
clean it out. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna call a hazmat unit.
They do breed.
Or just like
you
a
know.
crime scene cleanup.
It's like I called a friend of mine. He's like, don't worry, I got it.
We have a song on the next Two Chorus record. We have a song called "There's Rats in the Suburbs Too." And
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, you
when
know-
when COVID came, like I live in the suburbs of
Mostly
Detroit,
witness protection, but
and when right before COVID, they were doing this giant apartment. They were building these condos on the other side of town, and then COVID came and they closed all the restaurants. So there was all the food source, like the building the apartment unearthed all the rats, and then closing all the restaurants gave them no food source. So they went out into the neighborhoods. So
This is so funny because we talked about this last week.
I wrote a song about it.
In New York, they are spreading birth control
I saw
rat
that.
pellets.
I saw that.
and
I'm
then
so
these women
into
are
it.
going to start eating
And
these
Emma
rats
was a
for
little
birth
pissed off.
control.
Emma
I'm
was a
so
little
into
pissed
like the
about it.
vermin.
I mean,
like,
no, my thing is like, so the rats get birth control for free, but
Right,
we
right.
don't.
You gotta fucking pay for it.
Not
Honestly,
women, though.
I
Yep.
am. I'm a little. I am that too. What is it like? Equal opportunity, really.
It's
is
not
like,
the way it works.
And then when New York stops having babies, they'll be like,
No, it's because all the
maybe
women
it
are
was the
eating
birth
rats.
control we gave the rats.
So they have a rat czar now in New York. They hired. It's a position. This woman is
A rat czar.
She's the rat czar. And yeah. Did you hear about the rat hole in Chicago?
No, okay. We
Oh,
need
please.
to keep talking about the czar for a second. What is she up to?
That's her job. Is like dealing with the rats in New York City. Like she's
just, like,
yeah,
take
one
'em
by
out?
one she has to.
Oh my God.
No,
Denver's got
but
a
that's
huge
like her
rat
job
thing.
is like dealing with the rats in New York City. But did you hear about the rat hole in Chicago though? It was
Can't wait.
in the Rogers Park neighborhood. There's a sidewalk, and in the cement there is a hole that's shaped like this rat, like as if it was.
Like Pompeii?
Like as if it had died in the cement and then someone removed it. Now, whether or not it was an actual rat or it just happened to look like that is unknown.
That's questionable. That's a question.
It became a thing, and
How much-
people were like going there, and they had to remove it because so many people were
just became a tourist
were
destination.
Don't they
flocking
wear-
to the rat sidewalk.
Don't they realize a tourist attraction when they got one? I mean, really.
People were like,
how much money could the
the
city
money
make?
and
Like there
Shut
were
up.
piles of change around it and flowers
Aw,
and.
just in memoriam.
And apparently the neighborhood wasn't thrilled about it.
Denver really doesn't like talking about the rats, but all of downtown
Probably
Denver
should start,
is
honestly. I think it's become a
steam
collective
heat.
problem.
So there's a big boiler system that heats all the high rises, everything, and the rats just love it in the tunnels. So I mean, it's the middle of winter. You got steam. Where are you going?
Quality content.
I mean, if you're ever in Denver, I don't know. People live in Denver. If you're in Denver downtown, you can see the steam coming up through the manhole covers.
Do you see a lot of rats like around town?
Oh God, I
Yes.
worked at
Yeah,
when
you
I
see 'em?
worked at the bus depot.
Yes.
Oh my God.
God.
Because I had the
I thought
steam
I-
system come in and heat our place.
I was at Home Depot the other day, and I'm coming out, and I look in the field that I'm parked next to, and I think like, oh my God, there's a bunch of kittens. Oh my
it's so
God,
cute.
yay! This is so cute. Like scamper
Did you
up
go
to
pet them?
them. And then this cat-sized rat, like this black ass bitch, just comes running to me.
I wish I could have filmed that.
I just need to have like a GoPro, like everywhere I go. And these baby rats were like kitten sized. I was ready to take one home.
She had a fresh batch. Yeah.
They were fresh out, freshies.
They
Little
breed like
fresh-
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
we-
just was confused
They're
because I saw the
disgusting.
tails and I was like, cats don't look like that. That's
No.
not.
I couldn't imagine being a sewer worker in Denver or anywhere. How do you
The
go down in
Ninja
there?
Turtles are doing just fine.
I saw a rat,
Turtles.
like Walgreens here, and then Illegal Pete's, the size of a cat, come out of the gutter, go across, and jump into the other gutter.
I
And
have
it's like-
beef with a black, like this giant black one that just like jumps at me every time I try to take the trash out. He's a fighter, and
He
yeah.
jumps at you?
Yeah. Oh my God, because
It's a raccoon.
He thinks that I'm
It's got
trying
black
to
eyes.
attack his trash can, but really I'm just trying to add to it.
You're a
man.
threat
I'm
to
just
his
trying
food
help,
source.
but just, Honestly, that's his space. That's his area. I respect it, but we need to work on it.
I mean, they're just trying to get by, but they are disgusting vermin.
It's not much, but it's honest work, honestly, and I get that because as a rat girl myself, we're
Rats are
scampering around
smart.
the town,
I was just
doing
talking
what we can.
earlier. My sister had rats as pets for a long time.
Honestly, I don't know if any of this is going to make it on the podcast. Let's be
No,
so
it's
real.
all making it on the podcast. Every bit of it's making it on the podcast.
So
But she
I don't
trained
know
her
if
rats.
it's
Her rats would go and poop. in
They're
the,
so smart. That's
yeah,
actually
the
one
cage
of
is always open. They'd go in there at night.
They can be
and
potty trained. It's a
circus tricks.
yeah.
I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that that the teeth of a rat are the most dense, natural living material on the planet. Like there's nothing that's like living that is as tough as the teeth of a rat.
I absolutely believe that. Mouse
That's
might-
interesting. I'm gonna have to do more research on that because you think of the femur bone and then like a spider's web as well.
Yeah, like I don't know. Again, someone should fact check that, but I do believe I have heard.
All right, speaking of which, though, we got to end this because we
Yeah,
got
let's end
karaoke
it.
coming up.
It's getting late.
Thank God.
We're down
Let's end it
south.
with karaoke.
Jeremy, you were awesome. I
guys,
loved
thank
your
you so
music.
much for
Thank you
having
for
me.
coming down, and I wish you the best of luck in the rest of your tour.
I can't thank you guys enough for having me. This place
Yes,
is awesome.
And anybody that happened to be listening on Podbean can put him to have a place for him to play tomorrow. Put him up. But
Yeah, let's
I will,
find something
I'll
for
see if I can get
tomorrow,
a
right?
little research. I know
Got
a
a
few
wicked
people.
smelly cat rendition.
I don't want to like crash some blues jam and everybody's like,
Oh,
you
dude,
know.
that'd be awesome.
Well, it's not out of the question, and I'm not above it, but it's like, it's not my jam. But I'll go in there. And, I'll go in there and show them what's doing.
I played harmonica for 30 years, and the one thing I never played was the blues. And people don't understand it. It's like, there's 50 million.
My wife's like,
blues
what
players.
are you going to do? Are you going to like play the blues? And I'm like, no, I don't know if I can play the blues. Like, I'll do my own shit. I'm like, what are they going to do? It's like, I mean, like, it's sad. Like, isn't that close enough? I don't write any happy songs.
With any luck, in 2 weeks, you will be able to see you on YouTube and everything, all the iHeartRadio.
Spotify even. I didn't know about that
Yay.
until today. Boy, howdy, we're going somewhere.
We have sponsors that pay for that stuff.
sponsors.
Sweet.
And we need.
By the way, we need more sponsors. You can call what is it, 720-663-9286. Leave a voice message and say you want to sponsor Laxin at the Lair because it's such a wonderful podcast. We're looking for like Jack Daniels, Hornitos Tequila. Those would be
Malort
good.
would be great.
Oh, Malort.
Oh, my
She
Lord.
drinks Malort, by the way. You know what that is?
That's a Chicago thing.
Why are you
Yeah.
trying to
It's
cuss
the
right now?
worst fucking alcohol on the planet.
Yeah. It's not my jam, but yeah, I get it.
But
Tonight you fight your dad. Sponsor me, Jepson, please.
It makes Emma look good. So.
Denver Rodent Control would be a potential sponsor.
Yes. If
we give him a lot of business too. I promise.
rodents are us.
Yep. Well, hey boys, this was fun.
Thank
It
you
was
guys.
fun. Thank you so
guys.
much, man. I
Appreciate
really
it.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks for the
Cheers.
night. Thanks.